second. We have two.
No, we don't.
We don't? I thought we had two.
You mean 2 internets?
Yeah. Connect to.
You got 2G.
Yeah, you didn't use the good internet for this?
I didn't.
Cholita's the good one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So we have Cholita internet and the Kilgore internet. Those
Which
are
is
our
the
2
name-
cats.
Those are the people that live on either side of them.
Cheers, guys. I was going to have a Monster Zero in honor of y'all, and then I was like, wait, I can't go to the store. So I'll have wine instead.
Even better.
All right, guys. So obviously we're having you here for episode 9 of Keep Waco Loud, the podcast. Special quarantine edition. This is our first time doing it filmed. So, you know, what is it? We're doing it live. That's what we're going to do.
Yep.
All right. So we know a little bit about you guys. And I feel like the more we learn about you, the more it just never seems to end of like the cool things that y'all do and have done.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
The competition never ends with you guys. The coolness goes.
You definitely are cooler than us on so many
Stacked.
levels. Kylie owns Mod Ministry and now Skellington Curiosities, which is probably one of the coolest stores in Waco. I joked,
hands down.
Yeah, hands down. I joked on the opening day that it was like a adult Hot Topic.
You're not the first one to say that. There's been a few people who have said that, and I'm proud of that, honestly.
But I still love Hot Topic, but when I go into Hot Topic now, I feel ancient.
Yeah.
Like there's a judgy 16-year-old behind the counter who's way too cool. And she's like, where's your child, Katie? Like, lady, like, you know. Why are you in here? And Sean, you correct me, I may be describing this wrong, but you invented the never-ending rope, correct?
It's a seamless rope connection.
Seamless rope. You should rebrand it as never-ending. Yes.
It's not even like something I brag about. It's like
He's like, he doesn't even want anyone to know about that, really.
I think it's so cool.
Yeah, man. It's pretty baller.
I think it's pretty cool.
I didn't technically invent it. I just applied the skill of wrapping sword handles to rope, essentially. Is all it is.
Hey, wait.
That even got cooler.
Back it up. Let's go to wrapping sword handles now, please. And your knowledge of that.
My grandfather was a Green Beret and a weapons specialist, and he used to refurbish weapons, swords, guns, everything. So in my childhood, I would handle swords, samurai swords.
This
katanas.
is the first I'm hearing this, too, so.
Whoa. This guy's opening up.
She said,
That's awesome. You're also like an artist, a musician. You're just kind of like all over the place. You both are very creative.
I have ADD.
Is there anything else we need to know?
I don't know. Like when people ask us what we do, I always hate it because I'm like,
what do we say?
yeah. So I'm in a band. I have a clothing line, darkandjuryclothing.com. We have a store. She has Mod Ministry.
And you do ropes.
Yeah, I make ropes for my day job.
And you do social media for that company.
Yeah, and I do social media for that company and Rick Glassman and Stevie Weeby and ourselves.
And ourselves.
You guys are the coolest people in Waco.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, and we have a
Well, so you guys are not originally from Waco.
No, we're from San Jose, California.
San Jose, California. So let's talk about a little bit, if you want, what brought you guys to Waco.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is like we also came from big cities,
for
and
sure.
we always get the same question: why Waco? Like, how did you know what I mean? We get asked that constantly. Like, you were in Brooklyn, there was so much to do. Why would you move to Waco? So I'm gonna put you on the spot and ask you that.
There's a large vampire community here, and we were promised eternal life if we moved here, and and formed rituals.
Oh, I did
Mike,
not get that brochure.
Producer Mike is nodding his head.
Just kidding. No,
Wait, we have video footage of him now.
we got married. We decided to have a child, and the housing prices, like as far as in San Jose and like big cities and stuff, I mean, it was just insane. We lived in the ghetto, and our house was worth like almost $800,000.
Holy moly.
And the school system was absolutely horrible.
Our old neighborhood was in East Side San Jose. If you guys aren't familiar, it's like
You can't even go for a walk without taking a gun with you.
we live basically the East Side San Jose split. One side's Hispanic, one side's Chinese, and we were right in the border in between. And like our next door, a few houses down from us, a lady got held hostage for 12 hours. Like I'd come home and like bums would be pissing in the driveways and
people's houses. It was crazy.
people with like, just hoodies, like covering their face. We'd come running up on you real quick.
But the houses were still worth that much. And we're like, we just like, we don't want to spend money on like a mediocre house in like a poor neighborhood and a bad school system. Like we need to get out of California, basically.
And like I would commute 2 hours to my day job and then work 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours, and then 2 hours back. So my life was, I would see her for an hour, see my son for an hour. So it was just like, wow, what am I doing? Wasting my time, So with my job, I was able, because of what I do, I'm able to do it anywhere. So we just decided, like, let's look all over the country. And
closed our eyes and pick a spot.
Threw a freaking dart right in the heart of Texas. You landed.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I did watch every episode of Fixer Upper.
Not gonna come prepared.
Show I wouldn't know about Waco, but I came to visit and I just fell in love with it.
That's kind of our origin story of coming back to Waco from Brooklyn. Katie grew up here, but when we were living in Brooklyn, we made 2 back-to-back weekend trips to Texas. One to Houston, one to Waco, and it was that second trip that just sort of sealed the deal for us. We're like, no, we gotta get back. Texas is where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, we had both lived in San Francisco for a bunch of years, San Jose. Like we lived in these big cities for a long time, and it's like we thought about Austin or Dallas, but then when you go there, it's just like it's like living back at home. You're just sitting in traffic, and so then Waco was just kind of like a cool spot. It's an hour from either way, pretty much,
Yeah.
And like to be honest, when we first moved here, I thought like everybody was like religious nuts and stuff, but I thought like, you know what, I could work it because I'm an introvert and I work by myself most of the time, and I do a lot of things, by ourselves. We kind of do whatever. But then we found the community here, so we're like, oh, and then spawned from there. Were we allowed to cuss on here?
We just make bleep every single one.
Yeah. The more you want Mike to work, the more you can cuss.
You guys want to know, one time my band was on San Jose's radio station KSJS, and we had a song, and in the middle of the song there's a breakdown, and it says you before the breakdown starts, right? And the DJ told me, dude, I don't have an edited version. I need you to hit the bleep when it gets to the breakdown. And I was like, all right.
On the fly.
And then when it got to that part, I bleeped every other word. So
like, oops. Sorry. Mike's gonna have a lot of fun. Be like, bleep. It'll sound like a Christmas song.
Like lit up, and then his manager called and everything. He was awesome. So I'm not to be trusted with curse words.
Sticking it to the man.
So speaking of cussing on podcasts, what made you start Necro Electric?
I seriously have like a problem if I'm not doing something. I have to have.
This is a problem for you right now. The coronavirus.
Well, I'm sure you guys seen. I started painting. I started doing all this stuff because
all your
They're
paintings
beautiful.
are awesome.
I can't sit still like for one moment. And
if he does not have at least 4 different projects going at the same time, like, you don't want to be around him. He is a monster.
I get irritable.
Yes.
Like today I worked like a bunch, and then I also tore apart and started refurbishing a casket. And then I came home and I painted, and then I played with my kid for 2 hours, and then I set up this whole like setup in our living room. Like I can't stand still. So when we first got here, all my band members were back home. We didn't know anybody, and I had to do something. So I talked to her, and I wanted to, I thought for 2 reasons. One, gives me something to do constantly with the podcast, as you guys know, promoting and everything. And then 2, we had our son, and I thought that it would be a great way for him to get to know me if something ever happen to me. Maybe when he's my age, he could watch all these and feel like he knows me more.
Yeah. That's me.
And this broad.
You're a giant man, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know this. But I think you have a big, soft heart. So I think that's awesome.
He does.
I care a lot about
Don't let the tattoos fool you.
her and my son. So
Everyone else can off.
mm-hmm.
That's a beat for Mike.
Speaking of your son, he has probably the coolest name in Waco, Bane Draco, right?
Yeah, Bane Draco Skellington.
As a fellow Slytherin, I really love the Draco part of his name.
Also, we got you guys. Scuba Valley's been doing a pay it forward thing, even though it's kind of like we're in quarantine mode, so it's kind of iffy. But we're paying it forward to you guys, but we're waiting until this stuff's all over with. But we got Pimple Moose, some treats, and we got you guys some candy and some stuff in the store. So
yeah.
Oh, that's
Dude, that is so nice.
That's awesome.
Pimple Moose is really gonna love those treats. Of course, you just heard her name, so she's probably gonna start barking. He's like, "What? Are you guys talking about me?"
I like the idea of the pay it forward.
I love that.
do you guys ever give her dream bones?
What is that?
What are those?
They're vegetable based, like peanut butter bones instead of rawhide, so they can.
Oh, we gave her a peanut butter bone recently that we got
look
at
at that
White
pupper.
Elephant. Oh, look at that puppy!
Yeah, I stay away from the rawhides.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
God, Cable was just heard puppy.
Yeah, this is Grim.
What's up? Come here. Oh, we gotta go get her now. So while he goes and gets Pamplemousse, where did the name Necro Electric come from?
Everybody always asks that. It's basically like we're gothic in nature, We be stylized on the dark side, so I wanted something that was like kind of represented that, but then at the same time it's exciting. So
No, for sure. Hey, people,
he told me, he was like, "What do you think of the name Necro Electric?" I was like, "What? What the fuck is that?"
Wait, I saw a picture that you posted, Sean, and it was from the movie Airheads. Did you like superimpose Necro Electric on a T-shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I just saw it for a second, and I got really busy, and I went on with my day, and then I went back and revisited it in my brain. I was like, wait, was there a T-shirt with somebody wearing the Necro Electric shirt, and that's where it's from? So you superimposed it onto the T-shirt.
I'm a photoshopper.
Oh, that's awesome.
What's been your favorite episode so far of Necro Electric? Like, have you had any like really big memorable ones or like fun guests?
Yeah, we've had a lot. I mean, we've had Rick Glassman and like Craig Efros, but my favorite ones are probably like, I love supporting like the local people. Obviously, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you'll see that I'm always supporting everybody. But I think my personal favorites are like the holiday ones, like Halloween and Christmas, where everybody like, dresses up and has fun.
Halloween was definitely my favorite.
What? You love Halloween? That's crazy.
Oh, I know, me, right?
I honestly think that you would win the award for using the most Halloween emojis if that were an award.
Oh yeah, no, the
all year long.
jack-o'-lantern is just what I use to replace like the smiling face.
All right, I'm gonna bring something into
Why not?
Hold on.
Oh God, where are you
I'm
going?
getting something.
Oh God, Pamplemousse is running after him.
Yeah, so we're feeling
Oh.
the pressure this year to throw a really big Halloween surprise at the store. Yes, I love
Pick a
that.
loud pumpkin.
That needs to be a t-shirt in October.
Anytime it's appropriate.
We'll sell it in your store.
Yes. Labs. All about it.
Recently, you did you filmed Scooby pretending to be that like detective with the oh my gosh, what was it? With the spray paint on the side of the building.
Oh, the
First
guy.
of all, let me say I
the
had
guy-
nothing to do with that. So Sean, take it over.
Me and Scuba Valley get in trouble all the time. But basically, somebody accused him of tagging a Ninja Turtle on a wall that wasn't his Ninja Turtle. And the guy told him he had till Monday to do whatever. And so instead, on Monday, we just released that video of he has a ceramic cock that he calls chicken that he calls Harry. And Harry peed on the wall. Billy's actually our new news guy. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. So
With his wig.
yeah. So our podcast has it because we used to do a thing called Sunday Update where we just tell everybody what's happening the next week. But now we've given Scoob his own Necro Electric news show. So we just let him run wild.
I love his quarantine update posts lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chasing water chickens.
Water chicken.
Water chickens.
Hunting ducks.
Talking about trying to hunt ducks. Oh my god, I love it. Did you see that?
No water chickens.
Yeah, he's calling the ducks water chickens.
He had a gas mask on and he had a milk crate and he was trying to
capture the water.
Harry had a glove on his head, which is funny. That's what people do to make it look like they're roosters, anyways. It's pretty funny.
Shout out to
Scooby. Well, tell us a little bit. How did y'all meet?
me and Kylie.
Yeah,
We met online. Plenty of fish.
you met on Plenty of Fish.
That's a Christian dating.
I thought that was a
network,
Christian
right?
dating thing.
No. No.
Not? Was that Christian Mingle?
I mean, you make a
Like
joke.
Christian Mingles or something.
I was making a joke. You thought it was seriously a
Yeah, I
Christian?
always thought it was a Christian thing. Like, because you know, like the thing where Jesus like makes fish or like, I don't know. Anyways.
No, I think it's like plenty of fish in the ocean kind of scenario.
Oh, okay. We technically met online. We met on Craigslist.
Whoa, all right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We met on Craigslist.
Well,
I was trying to sell her a couch.
Yeah, couch. We were random roommates. So I needed an apartment in Houston, and he kicked his old roommate out, and I came in, and
Yeah.
3 months later we moved to New York, and almost 7 years later we're married. So
How long have y'all been married yet? No.
we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary.
Years. Aw. Congratulations.
Thanks.
you.
So y'all met online in Santa Barbara.
San
No,
Jose.
San Jose.
I was living in Livermore and she was living in San Francisco at the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had my tattoo shop in Livermore. And yeah, I went online because I was just tired of like Livermore is a real small town. And I was tired of everybody in town. Like I knew everybody, you know what I mean? So I went online and I found her and she made me wait like 2 hours. She showed up late.
I showed up hella late for our first date, like 2 hours late.
I sat at a bar where nobody spoke English and just drank a bunch of beers, waiting for her to show up.
Oh my God. So no offense, Kylie, you would have been immediately axed because lateness, like a couple minutes is like one thing, but this one time a guy picked me up for a date and made me miss the previews, and I was pissed. Like
No.
favorite part, never saw him again.
Oh.
She killed him. Is what she means.
I did not kill him.
She's a Scorpio.
I'm sure he's still
Watch your
alive.
backs.
I don't even know if she wanted to go on a date with me. She just wanted to do all the stuff she liked to do in the city because she
That's
showed
not
up.
true.
She showed up late, and then I'm like, "What do you want to do?" And she's like, "Let's go drink 40s in the park."
Yeah.
We drank 40s in the park,
Okay.
and then we went to Graffiti Alley in the Mission District, which was like her favorite thing. Then we went to a taxidermy store, And then I took her to get rabbit ragu at this fancy restaurant.
Delicious.
I dropped like a shit ton of money, and then it seemed like it was going good. And then I went to go kiss her right before she got on the BART, and then she froze like a bug.
I patted him on the back.
Yeah, give me a I was
like he froze, like it's a bad connection. Like,
no, but I mean, because
Reason you're like, good date, buddy.
And I didn't know what to do. So it wasn't that I didn't like you. I was nervous.
oh,
I thought it went good, and then I went for the kiss, and yeah, she acted like I had the bubonic plague or something. So I was like,
wait, hold on. Did you say blue bonnet plague? Is that we call that the coronavirus in Texas, the blue bonnet plague?
Yeah.
Mike, come on it.
Mike,
Get Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick on the phone right now.
Yeah. We'll bring them all back.
Mike's taking care of Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
There we go.
So, we talked a little bit earlier about like all the things that you're doing to cope with like the coronavirus and stuff. Like, have y'all started any cool projects, in lieu of not being able to leave the house?
We're restoring a 1954 casket.
Well, that is pretty special. And you got this from a trailer park, right?
Yeah, I had to go to Belton, Texas, which is like 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
Pull it out of a trailer park house there. It was a viewing casket. It was a 1954 viewing casket that was in service from 1954 to 1983.
Wait, okay. A viewing casket means that multiple dead bodies have been inside that casket.
Yes.
From 1954 to 1983.
Yeah, so it was covered in fabric. It was never meant to be buried. People were just in there, and then they were cremated after the viewing.
Or
give you an approximation of how many dead bodies were inside that.
Wow.
That is multiple decades of people.
Now.
So
I mean, honestly, if you just estimated one funeral a week, that's 52 per year, and I'm sure there are way more than one per week.
Yeah. And then who knows what happened with it from 1983 to 2020, but now it's ours.
Katie's face.
I thought it was like a joke casket that somebody just had, or maybe only one person had been in it.
Because that's a great thing you can get at a comedy store. A joke.
Don't worry, we completely gutted it this week. Sean actually.
I think Mike has something to say about that.
And it's going to be cleansed, and we're going to completely redo it. It's going to be fun.
We're going to pimp it out, but what do you mean cleanse?
Pimp my casket.
Pimp my casket.
We're gonna like put some like burned sage over it to like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, so okay, you're gonna pimp. What was that? What was the DJ's name that did "Pimp My Ride"?
Oh no, it was the rapper. It was.
Oh, DMX.
No.
Oh, what's his name?
What's his name? It was something like
Rough Riders.
no, it was something like "is" in it. It was like "is." Oh my god, now I gotta Google it. What was his name? But "Pimp My Ride," have you ever seen like the ones where they like tried to sell them on like eBay afterwards?
Yeah.
No.
Like the one with the orange carpet.
Producer Mike has.
Oh, producer Mike, yes.
But it was Exhibit.
Exhibit.
I knew it was "is" something. It was Exhibit. Thank you, producer Mike. But yeah, I just remember like those being like so over the top. But like, how the hell did you drive with them? Like there was one that had a fish tank in it. It's like, it's gonna be hot in LA. Like those fish are gonna die immediately. They had like coffee makers.
Well, they never like fixed up the actual car. They just put a bunch of wacky gimmicks in them.
Yeah, like they didn't fix the like the engines and stuff, right?
The car never drove after that.
Probably.
We don't know how engines work. We just know all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I remember one, I think it was like a follow-up episode where the guy had taken he had sold the tires almost immediately and just had it on cinder blocks after.
Oh my god.
Like I got some good money for the tires. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break real quick for our sponsors. I don't know how we're gonna do them with video, but Mike's gonna figure it out anyway, so we'll be right back.
Dichotomy Coffee and Spirits.
Yeah, hi Becca.
Hi. You could have jumped in at any time there.
But now I'm saying hi Becca. They are currently offering curbside and order ahead coffee and pastries, and that's going to be their entire menu every day from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then they're also offering delivery coffee travelers and pastries Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
You can get some of those magic beans.
The beans!
Just get some of those good beans and merchandise.
Delivery is
on
free.
the beans and merchandise.
The products will cost you money, but they will not charge you to deliver it to your house 1 to 2 days after you order it.
You can acquire the good beans, but you will pay money for the beans.
We still need an exchange of currency for goods and/or services, except for the service of delivering it.
We really hope that you go check out and support Dichotomy Coffee and Spirits.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been a huge part of downtown for so long, and so definitely continue to support them right now.
When you had us on your podcast and we met for the first time, you put us in the hot seat. What was the title of that episode? Was it like Getting Kinky with Keep It Loud? All right, so now it's your turn. We're going to put y'all in the hot seat.
Wait, do it. Bring it.
What's your social security number?
What is your social security number and your mother's maiden name? Yeah. Well, now it's your turn, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a game of who is most likely to. Well, where we're going to pull one of these cards, and then y'all have to argue between the two of you who is most likely to. So.
We're an open book.
All right. Do it.
So I'll go first. Who is most likely to know more about Kim Kardashian?
Neither one of us, because we both hate those people.
Wait, you knew their name.
No, well, actually,
one.
probably me, because it's really funny. My family has like all the same family names. There's me, my sister is Courtney, my aunt is Kim, my uncle is, what's the other guy's name?
You don't know your own.
Scott, Chris, Caitlin.
I've never seen the show.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of my family has like the same names as their family. But yeah, Sean's never even seen it at all, so I guess me.
Yeah. The
It's
only
kinda funny,
trash TV
so you're Kylie.
Yeah, if he's ever watched it, it's because of me.
Yeah.
That's
The only
hilarious.
thing I've seen is the picture that broke the internet, like Kim Kardashian's ass with like the wine.
Oh yeah. I think that my favorite, so there is this one episode, it was a very early episode, but like Kim is like, she lost an earring in the ocean, like in a clear water part of the ocean, and Courtney just comes out and she's like, Kim, people are dying, because she's like crying that her earring was lost. And so people during this corona, anytime Kim Kardashian has tweeted about anything like irrelevant right now, people keep responding with that gif of like, people are dying, Kim.
That's great.
Okay, so who has a MILF?
I guess I have a MILF, right?
What do you mean? Who has a MILF?
That's my MILF.
MILF, that is true. Kylie, you're a MILF.
Thank you.
Wait, okay, no, but more like specifically, was that a reference to like
Their parents.
Their own parents?
Like my mom versus his mom?
No, her mom all the way.
Oh, really? I'm just kidding. Yeah, my mom.
Her mom and her aunts and everything, they're very like they upkeep, you know what I mean?
They keep it jiggy with it.
Yeah. You guys froze. Oh, there you go. You're back.
Kylie's got a MILF. Okay.
Her whole family's like very, if you look on her Instagram or whatever, you'll see them. They're
I feel like you guys are gonna fight each other for this one. Who's most likely to the lead up to the question and the answer, the real ending of the question don't make sense, but who's likely to network at a funeral?
I guess me.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be trying to buy caskets at a funeral or whatever. I don't know.
He's like, oh, that's a nice casket. You want to see mine at my house?
Funerals are so awkward for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the last funeral that you guys went to?
Jacob, what the
Whatever, hey man, world's ending. Who
Like a
cares?
month ago.
Yeah, we went to Brianna's.
Brianna's grandpa
Mhm.
passed away, and her mom passed away just like 2 months before that. So
In memory of.
we love you, Brianna.
In memoriam.
Hang on.
Wait, Mike, you have something to say?
One second. Sean, could you tell me about your favorite funeral?
What was your favorite funeral?
My favorite funeral would be when my Uncle Burl died. Oh no, when my Uncle Corky died. Because my Aunt Carol hadn't seen her husband in a long time, and he showed up and she passed out.
A long time, as in like years.
I had an uncle that abandoned his family, and then like
Wait, okay. They were still married?
yeah, my uncle was like a fighter, and he
Boxer.
like he helped run my family's air conditioning company, and he was married to my Aunt Carol, and they had 3 kids, and then one day he just left.
It's like, I'm going out for some cigarettes, and then never came
Yeah,
back.
pretty much.
Yeah, and he just never came home. And then I was probably 13, and then somewhere around 25, 26 is when my uncle died. And then he showed up to the funeral, and then my aunt stood up and saw my other uncle, and she just fell over. And everybody was like, it just got all crazy. And I find chaos a little entertaining. He basically just walked in, grabbed my deceased uncle's jacket, and then bailed with some like gangster Mexican guy. So to me, I thought that was just so interesting. So that would be my favorite funeral.
That's an incredible story.
I don't have any cool funeral stories. Like none.
Yeah.
I'm not a big funeral person.
Mhm.
Like I just recently went to my grandma's funeral. She died last month. But I used that as like a template to tell Jacob like everything not to do at my funeral.
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't give me a funeral. Like, let's go on a bar crawl.
Katie's grandma was a freaking badass.
She was such
She
a badass.
cussed out Chuck Norris.
She did.
Hell
she
yeah.
used to make guns, or she would like not make guns, right? Or what was her?
Yeah, she
thing?
made guns.
She did. She made guns. And you explain it. Come on, tell a story about Chuck Norris.
Well, like she used to run a store, an American Derringer store out in Elmont. And one day Chuck Norris comes in, and she didn't know it was Chuck Norris. Like his name is like actually like Carlos.
What?
And she didn't know it was him. And so he apparently ordered this gun, a very, very expensive, like double barrel shotgun, or double barrel like pistol. And she spent like 6 hours polishing this gun. And when he went to pick up the gun, he actually wanted it brushed, not polished. So she had to like completely undo the finishing of this gun and like make it look like a brushed gun. And so he came to pick it up again, and she's like, "Here's your mother gun, blah blah blah," And so then the guy who worked with my grandma was like, "You know who that is, or who that was, right?" When he left, and she's, "I don't give a who that was." It pissed me off.
That's amazing.
Yeah. She had a sign on her porch that I want nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not somebody who wants things from people after they die, but she had a sign on her front porch that said, "Forget the dog, beware of the owner." And it was just like a picture of a gun. I was like,
Oh my God,
so
that's
cool.
great.
So cool.
This episode of Keep Waco Loud is brought to you by guns.
All right, we'll do one more. Who is completely shocked by every fact that you tell them?
I'm not shocked about anything. So.
Skyly.
Yeah,
Skyly.
I feel like, honestly, I think that one's more like me. Like, I feel like I would always be like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" Like, this
Yeah.
is me.
I rolled the punches.
No, you roll with the whiskey.
I do. That as well.
Well, cool. Well, we are really glad that y'all came on and were able to be on our very first like videoed podcast, which is kind of exciting.
Because when we first went on y'all's podcast, you had asked us why don't we do video, we were like, oh, we don't, didn't feel like our medium.
We sound better than we look.
Yeah, we sound better than we look.
Which is so not true. You guys are always on.
That was fishing by both of us, and
it was not fishing.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, everybody wants me to ask. Have you guys noticed? When I do little promotions for you guys on our channel, do you guys notice the bananas I always hide in all the pictures?
What? You hide bananas?
Yeah.
Wait, why?
Why? Because the first time I saw you guys,
like
it was,
banana?
I saw your band and you were
Oh.
dressed.
I've never noticed that. Now I have to go back and look.
There's a hidden banana in almost every picture. I do it all the time.
I honestly,
I love that.
Well, I love those posts so much, and now I love them even more. But I love that you go and you found our old Christmas card photo, the one that we had drawn of us.
Yeah, bro,
pictures
you're
from
deep diving and have you accidentally liked some really old picture and then felt weird about it?
That's what I do. Even on Mike, when I promote Oni-chan, I'll dig way deep.
He found a picture of his grandma
or something.
right?
Yeah. I don't know who that lady was, but I found a couple old ladies and Mike's stuff, and I used them.
You found photos of our honeymoon, pictures from 3 years ago, when we were in Chile. I was like, oh, this is a nice little memory lane. Thanks, Necro Electric.
There's a zombie banana in almost every one of those. So
I can't believe I've never noticed the banana.
Yeah, I gotta go look back at that.
So earlier you said that you were doing a pay it forward that Scooby was doing, and you mentioned you got us dog treats and some candy. So explain. So now that you've done something for us, what is expected of us? Are we?
Yeah. Should we reach out to somebody, or do you
pay it forward?
Do something nice for them.
Okay. Now we gotta figure out who we're gonna do.
Box of whatever you feel that would brighten that person's day.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for coming on to this wildly different version of what Keep Waco Loud podcast is.
Yeah.
But we're all adapting here in this new current quarantine world. But we appreciate you guys a lot.
We do. We're so glad you came to Waco.
All this bullshit's over with. We'll have you guys back over to ours.
Yeah,
yes.
Please. It'll be awesome, and we won't have this weird lag between us, so we can actually hug. Maybe would you think hugging will be legal by the time this happens?
No.
It's basically that scene in Demolition Man where Sylvester Stallone thinks he's actually gonna sleep with the other character. It's gonna be like that forever, probably. Go see Demolition Man.
I was about to say I don't get this reference, but okay.
Salutations.
Well, guys, we love you. Thank you for coming to Waco. Thanks for doing Necro Electric. Thanks for keeping Waco
Producer Mike.
cool.
We love producer Mike.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Virtual high five.
Keep Waco Loud, the podcast, is produced by Oni-chan Productions. Our theme music is by Fish Hands. If you like what you hear, you should check them out on Bandcamp. Please be sure to subscribe to this podcast, and if you really like us, give us a 5-star rating. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or check out our website, where you can buy merch or even see some local events coming up. Thanks again for tuning in.
We don't actually have to get off. That was just the guy. This is where you edit it, and then we cuss a lot, and Mike has to. I can't tell if Mike is frozen or just sitting really still this whole time.
Well, sweet.
Yeah.
Subscribe and like to Keep Waco Loud, and we'll see you guys.
Bye, guys.